makes most women start a business? Is it passion, money, or freedom? Welcome to Female Founders, the podcast that takes you behind the scene with women who are founders and CEOs to help you start and scale a successful business of your own. I am your host, Nagelia de Ravin. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Female Founders. Today, I will be having a conversation with Hanna Hermanson, the CEO of You Copywriting. Hanna has deep insight into what motivates people to take action. She is dedicated to helping you nail your marketing in a fun, fresh, and joyful way, and her work can be found in Forbes, Thrive Global, and Brainz magazine. Join me as I learn more about Hanna's approach to marketing and her passion for helping coaches get back to the zone of genius. Good morning, Hanna. You are a coach, CEO of You Copywriting, and creator of the Feminine Marketing Funnel. How did this whole idea of copywriting and business branding come to you?
Oh, when I was 4 years old, I knew that I was destined for this. No, not really. But when I was 4 years old, I was writing. I did start writing and loving to tell stories. And I thought maybe I'd be a journalist when I grew up. But I spent a day in high school job shadowing a news anchor and knew that I did not want that job because it was literally in the field. And we were just talking before the recording. I used to live in Wisconsin. And it was a February day, so it was cold and not my favorite kind of weather, snowy, muddy. And the story we were covering was about fecal matter in a dog park. And I lost all of the charm about what it would mean to be a journalist or, tell the news or tell stories. So I continued down a very traditional path. I ended up studying psychology in college and really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I ended up staying in college and I became an academic advisor really because that's what I had seen. I had seen teachers my whole life. My parents are in education. So, all right, I'll just stay here and keep working for the school. And in those roles, I did a lot of marketing and communicating ideas that we wanted students to participate in and communicating initiatives to parents and even communicating new programs to faculty. And so I quickly learned this kind of storytelling and translator skill that I had. So we'd be talking about the same thing in our meetings about the new summer term programs that we were going to create. But then it was this whole marketing game of getting everyone on board. Ultimately, though, I was not one that was made for the 9-to-5 cubicle, punch in, punch out life. I actually started playing hooky from that job. I would put in my calendar off campus meeting or OBGYN. So no one would ask me where I really was, but I would go to yoga on Wednesday at 10 a.m. And if after enough playing hooky from my real job, I started realizing, okay, not everyone in this 10 a.m. yoga class is also making stuff up every week. So I started asking the people in my yoga class, how are you here? And I learned the word entrepreneur. And we can go through the, last 10 years of trial and error, highs and lows, celebrations and pity parties on the couch. But I've continued to kind of lean into that natural gift that I have of using words and telling stories to inspire people to take action. And now it's about coaching programs.
Wow. This is awesome. Hanna, this is awesome. So pretty much you use all of the things that you have from 4 years old to actually start your own company.
Yeah. 4-year-old Hannah would just be mind boggled that this is a whole thing. Because I literally did not know the word entrepreneur. And even as a copywriter, I still don't always spell it right. It's such a foreign thing. But I had enough mentors and I had enough examples in my early 20s when I really started to seek out other people who were blazing their own trail or working from coffee shops, right? I was kind of in that reporter mode of how are you doing this? How did you get here? What do you do? What does this mean? And I was lucky enough to stumble upon some really great mentors that did lead me into coaching programs. And that opened my mind up. I'm sure you talk to so many wonderful women who just have found these gifts and want to teach other people that There's another way than the script we were given of do the right thing,
Yes.
follow the traditional path, get your Toyota Corolla, enjoy your 401 retirement plan, and that's a happy life.
Yes.
And so through experiencing my own transformations through other people's coaching programs, I got a real sense for the power and like the world that I want to see and the world that I want to leave behind, even like this legacy idea, which I know you talk a lot about with other women. And so again, when I trial and error, I mean, we can go down the rabbit hole of all the the ugly points, but I want to get this into like a thesis statement. Okay, I still have my academic background for listeners, because when I realized that I was here with a certain set of gifts that other people didn't have, but I was starting to engage with people who had these wonderful gifts of coaching, yoga, teaching, like literally enlightenment. People are figuring this out. I got super passionate about telling everyone, right? I literally wanted to be a news reporter. So I had to tell all my friends and like tell the story, like, look at this coaching world, everyone. And I started doing that. Like, again, I didn't really have a system or a strategy, but people started asking me good questions and people started enrolling in programs that my friends were putting on. So I kept sharing and I kept sharing. And eventually that led to some really good questions from clients of mine around, you know, how are you getting clients? How is this working for you? Because the scripts that they were given in their sales program or their coaching certification program just like weren't resonating. And so I started sharing. And now we have a system that's been proven through hundreds of coaches. If we can share the right elements of our story, of our program, of our gifts, the right people can understand what it really means to like become enlightened or, you know, change your neural pathways in your brain, like all of these like really intense things that coaches do. But again, need a translator to be able to tell the masses, like, this is the real value of this coaching program. This is why I want you to check it out.
So also one thing that listening to you talking, one thing I also grab from you is the fact that just because you went through a program, they give you a bunch of sales thing doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because what works for the Smith, for Joseph, for Mary, for Paul, it's not going to work for Anna. Anna is different. Anna is unique, and Anna needs to find that unique way of approaching the client to actually bring the money to the company.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much power in our personal brand and us being here with our unique set of gifts and our unique voice. And of course, when I was growing my business, I subscribed to a lot of those programs and I got coaches that gave me the sales script and I hammered it and I memorized it and I did everything that they told me, but it only got me to about 6 figures. And when I wanted to scale to multiple 6 figures and 7, I realized that this alignment piece of feeling like I'm in full integrity and me talking to you in my own voice is an essential piece of it. And so this is actually why this year I launched a new podcast called The Feminine Marketing Show, because feminine energy gives us the permission to follow creativity, follow our inner knowing. And before I go too much further into this topic, I want us to know that we all have masculine and feminine energy. In fact, I have more masculine energy than feminine because I love goals and I like structure and I like a routine and I know how to get things done. And again, that energy got me to 6 figures because I got stuff done. I figured things out. I hustled. Okay.
Yes.
But to go to where I wanted to go, I knew that what got me to 6 figures wasn't going to get me to the next level. And this is when I started to really look at the same sort of principles that I was learning inside of my life coaching programs: energy work, law of attraction, believing in yourself, having fun, letting things be easy, letting answers come to you, not trying to control every single thing in the universe. And that's feminine energy. And so bringing together the masculine structures that I had already learned from others, and then giving myself permission to just use my gifts and not necessarily be the bookkeeper and the email writer and the website designer and all these things I was like figuring out in the business, but really just lean into my zone of genius and let other people join my team and come next to me and live in their zone of genius. Because, oh my gosh, you guys, other people actually like spreadsheets. Like I was keeping all this stuff in my business that I felt like I had to do. And then I learned this idea that we all have certain gifts. And if I just focus on my gifts, what I'm on earth school to do, I can get other people to help me do the rest.
Yes.
And this power of feminine leadership and bringing people together to play in the structures that we built in the business is exactly how we get to lead with our gifts and use our voice and use what we're here to do to attract people into our coaching programs or to read our book. But it really is this like alignment game that gets us to what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. And also that don't try to do everything on your own, because I think as business owners, we want that perfection and we try to do it all alone. And that's where we fail because you don't have enough time to do everything alone. It's impossible.
Yeah. And here's the mistake I was making. I was trying to get good at spreadsheets and tracking my numbers and doing my books. And it was just, putting a square peg in a round hole. Like that is not what I came to earth to do. Why am I trying to become this person who I'm not? Hello, I called in Nikki, my teammate, who is wired. Like we've done her human design. We've done leadership tests. She's taken all sorts of my psychology quizzes to ensure that like, this is what is going to light her up. This is what she is here to do. Organize, track. Don't make me do that because I'm not Hannah. I'm not Hannah. Who am I trying to be? Like Nikki, come up in here and be Nikki.
Okay, exactly. And I like that. I think it's a great advice as well especially for women, because from the household, we take care of everything. We take care of the kids. We do everything. And when we come to the business world, we try to do the exact same thing. Yeah. That's where the problem comes.
Yes. And this is the soapbox I am on, girlfriend. Like we as women in this time and space reality are over masculinized. I mean, we've been living in this context of, work 9 to 5, keep up with the Joneses, have both a career and a social life and a family. And like you said, keep care of the house. And like, we took on all of these things that we were never designed to do. Right. And so yes. I'm the breadwinner in my family. Like I love doing a lot of things. But it's when we forget to give ourselves that permission for play, for pleasure, for ease, that we have become over masculinized. And this is why we have burnout. This is why we want to have cancel culture. Yeah. This is why everyone's quitting their job. It's just not the way that we were designed to live, like from nature, yin and the yang, balance. Yeah.
So also that you started Done For You to provide strategic marketing solutions. Interesting name, by the way. How did you come up with it?
Done For You Copywriting. This is a strategy for everyone who might be looking to do a pivot. So in 2020, I had been coaching coaches what I had learned about copywriting strategy and marketing and enrolling clients. And I knew there was an opportunity for more. Like I said, I was looking to go to 7 figures. So I started interviewing some of my best clients because I've also learned that I only have so many ideas. Okay. Other people and feedback are so helpful for entrepreneurs, even though we're very smart and we can figure a lot out, like feedback is helpful.
Yes.
So I started talking to some of my best clients and asking them, what do you really come to our sessions for now? We've evolved a lot together. What are some of the strengths that you would love me to share with you more? What do you need in your business right now? I did a good old fashioned survey. And they all came back to me with, do it for me. Do the copy for me. Will you write for me? And so I literally just said, okay, it is Done For You Copywriting. Okay. And this is a copywriting trick. Let them tell you what to say. I didn't go searching or, Googling if this was going to be a good name or not. I just heard enough people say it that I decided they know what that means. They're looking for it. And I can offer that solution. So in 2020, I started doing the Done For You copywriting and putting out emails and websites, and social media posts for some of our clients, and the demand and results were massive. So this is where I saw the opportunity to grow the team even more. Yeah.
Wow. So pretty much you listen to what they want, what they're looking for, and what they need for the business to survive, and you give it to them.
Yeah. And this is a mistake I made at the very beginning when I wanted to make a coaching program because people were interested in my story and what I was posting, but I didn't have a good offer put together. So I thought, okay, I'll put together a boot camp, which now, by the way, is just like so cringy. Like nobody wants a boot camp. Like that just sounds like so sweaty and hard. And like, why would I pay you for a boot camp, Hannah? But I didn't know what I was doing. So I put together these modules and 6-week group program, Dream Life boot camp, and nobody wanted it. But I was like, what's this disconnect between you all liking my story and liking this conversation and these topics, but you don't want to pay me to like get inside and like do this work together? And I see so many coaches making that same mistake where in my head, it made so much sense. You need module 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. But it wasn't until I really did start listening and I just worked with one-on-one clients and I started to see the patterns. So listening to one-on-one clients helped me build the modules. It wasn't about me figuring it out or making it out and just hoping that people would need it. But people are telling us every day, especially as coaches and entrepreneurs, what they need. And if we can start to listen and ask good questions, business title, the offer, it's out. The answers are out there. We don't have to figure it all out ourselves.
Yes, and I completely agree with you on that as well. So what are the services that the company offers when we're talking about done for you copywriting? Is it just copywriting or there's other things that you do?
Yeah, I think with copywriting, there's always an element of strategy that needs to go with it. So I always say we like to give you copy that works and you know how to work. Because the truth is you could go spend a lot of money on amazing copy, put it on a billboard that only cows see, like no one ever sees. So we make sure that we look at the strategy piece of where are you positioned? Where are you showing up? And then we align your strategy with your ideal clients, with your offer. And then we go to work and start producing from your voice what your ideal clients are looking for. Again, what they are already asking themselves. And then we produce websites, email sequences, email newsletters, social media posts, all the things that your ideal client might find as they're researching. Is this my girl? Is this who I want to work with? Is this the program for me? We do that. And of course, clients are part of the writing process, but we focus on first that strategy and alignment. Then we offer the done for you copywriting. And then we work together for about a year. Most of our clients we work for a year, because the truth is creating a well-oiled feminine marketing system takes time. It takes testing and takes feedback, like we talked about.
Wow. So also that I'm thinking that's also including the sales. That's pretty much the main focus of it, is to be able to bring the revenue, to bring the clients.
Yep, absolutely. We focus on the 4 C's here: clarity, connection, credibility, and clients, because these are the 4 critical elements of a productive marketing strategy. So absolutely having clients and even bringing them into the marketing. The word remarkable is something that I talk about a lot with our clients, because the truth is when people remark about you, when they can tell other people what you do and what results you gave them, you can create a whole nother funnel, a whole nother stream of sales just from referrals. So we think about, yes, be clear about your offer, clarity, connect with new clients and make them fall in love with you, connection, credibility, show them your expertise, show them what results to expect, be that positioned leader. But then also clients. Don't forget about those valuable people already in the business, because the truth is it is easier to keep good clients and leverage their network or think about who else they can invite than constantly be getting new clients.
I love it. So also, Dream Life is Real. What is it about?
Dream Life is Real Life was my first business. I have a book on Amazon, and it really helps you figure out those first pieces of building your offer, right? Like I talked about working with those one-on-one clients, I learned a lot about how do you create a high ticket transformational program. And so Dream Life is Real Life is the coaching side of things. Like I said, the book is on Amazon to help people just figure out that first offer, that first cash flow opportunity. And then as I evolved and my clients evolved, this is where Done For You copywriting came in for coaches who are at six figures and beyond, who want to get back into their zone of genius. They have a good set of clients, but they just need help getting out of the marketing weeds.
So pretty much the first company kind of coach them one-on-one and guide them. And then the second one, get it done for them.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Smart move.
You might notice this too, but I definitely, in like the conversations that you have with people, because I know my entrepreneurial journey is the same exact as my personal development journey. Like, I'm the type of entrepreneur who wants to always be growing and evolving and sharing what I've learned. Like I said, I wasn't made for that cubicle life to just like do the same thing for 30 years. Like even the classroom schedule, it's like every year starting new with freshmen. Like, oh my gosh, like, aren't we going to, I'm always expanding and evolving. I don't know if you know much about human design, but I'm a manifest generator. And so I have more ideas than hours in the day. So we might be back on this podcast in a few years and I'll be talking about 5 other businesses. Because when I see that I can help people, I've learned how to build businesses behind it to offer that solution.
Exactly. So you see the problem, you create the fix for it.
Build something to help. Mm-hmm.
I love it. So now you are the creator of the feminine marketing funnel, and I know you already talked about it a little bit, but can you shed some more light on it for me?
Yeah. And this solution came from the problem, air quotes, problem, because as entrepreneurs, we really should be embracing problems, because that just means we're learning something new. We're on the path. If we have the same problems all the time, like, we're not growing. So the solution for the feminine marketing funnel came because so many coaches were frustrated with what I call bro marketing, which are these scripts and these templates that are based on scarcity and they're based on fear. So if you've ever had a business coach tell you, you should be crying on your sales calls, or you've heard about the copywriting strategy, problem, agitate, solve, which is literally taught, find the pain point, put in the knife and twist it so people feel enough pain that they need you and they'll buy your program.
Wow.
This is bro marketing. And this is this idea that we need to convince people, show them their problems, and then we're the solution. We're these saviors. But that's not working. And it's not even working for men. Okay. It's just an outdated strategy that worked in a society that is pre-pandemic. What we're seeing now is a completely different consumer landscape. And I'm not just talking about the algorithm. I'm not just talking about where we sell. I'm talking about how we buy and sell. And people don't want to feel like crap anymore. We've been down that road, okay? So the feminine approach is all about empowering people and staying positive and moving people up an emotional guidance scale to make them feel good about buying from you. Because the truth is, when people come from a place of optimism and hope and desire in their decision to work with you, they're better clients.
Yes.
And they get better results and everyone's job is easier. So I'm personally on a mission to kind of give people the permission to leave some of those old scripts and start selling from the heart and leading with these feminine principles of community, connection, collaboration, potential, aspiration. And so the feminine marketing funnel is a 4-step. We already talked about the 4 C's. We can go through it more in depth. But it's this 4-step process to inspire people to be drawn into your coaching program instead of pushing. Look at me. Do you like my post? Look at this. Come join. You got a problem. You got a problem. So should we go through it? Should we really go into the 4 C's here?
Yes, please. I think that will help a lot of people.
Awesome. Awesome. So I didn't tell you them in the right orders, or did I? Yeah, I did. Connection, clarity, credibility, clients. Okay. But how this really works is less of a funnel and more of like a Venn diagram. So you can jump over to our website and sign up for more info, and you can see these visuals if you're not. Well, I'm not showing you the visuals, so I'm going to do the best with my words as the copywriter I am to tell you about this. But the first piece here is connection. And this is really answering the question, are people seeing you? Are they having the opportunity to get to know you? Okay. Do people know you? This is connection. And so there's plenty of ways that we can facilitate connection. And please pick your platform. It's kind of like pick your poison, pick your platform. This is true on Instagram, LinkedIn, your website, live events. We need people to know about you and be connected to you. And the way that we can facilitate this is not about like hacking the algorithm or running ads to, again, spam people and show up and be seen. And oh my God, here I am. Do you like me? Do you like me? That's what I feel like when I go on Instagram. Everyone's just like, do you like me? Do you like me?
That's true.
Yelling out there, right? But this idea of like, how can people get to know your personal brand? And tried and true with myself and hundreds of our clients is that telling our personal stories, our quirks, the fact that I always get a zit after I eat Chinese food, just these little things that you might remember about me to, again, make me remarkable. And I see this in our own, we use email marketing a lot in our business. And I send, at this point, about a weekly email, and it's always real life, rich with my real life stories. And when people get onto sales calls, they tell me, they remember, you get zits after you have Chinese food. And it has nothing to do with my offer, but they're connected. They know something about me, okay? Then the next piece is clarity. And this wouldn't work if people just thought I had acne. They have to know that I also have an offer. So clarity needs to be an essential part of your marketing strategy. To reiterate to people, we do social media, email newsletters, and websites for your coaching business. Or we have a podcast for six-figure entrepreneurs. Like, if you, all of us listeners right now, if you were to ask the next 20 people that you saw in your life, do they know what you do? Or are they kind of like, oh, I think she types
guessing.
Things. Yeah, tell them, feed them exactly what you do over and over so that you are top of mind and it's clear to them. Oh, when I need a website, I go to Chinese food girl, Hanna. And the last piece is credibility. So it's great if you're connecting and people know what you have to offer, but if they still don't trust you and they don't know that you are the expert and you're credible, they're not going to be as good of clients. So you also want to be showing up with credibility consistently. And the way to do this is to show results. Again, paint the picture, tell the story. This is easy with weight loss coaches or health coaches because you can literally see the transformation. But for all of us, we need to be able to show that the results, that this works, and answer the question that your prospects are really asking, will this work for me? Okay. So connection answers the question, do I know you? Do I feel connected to you? Clarity answers the question, do I know what you're going to help me with? What are we actually going to do together if I work with you? And then credibility answers the question that all buyers have, which is this going to work for me? Right? And then that fourth C is clients. And like I said, such a big part of marketing is delivering your program and ensuring you are getting results and your clients are satisfied and they're talking to their friends and their family about your program. And what we find is that when we can show up consistently with connection, clarity, credibility, and love our clients, we have better clients, they get better results, and it's all easier. We're not coming from this forcing, I got to convince people, I got to figure out all these mechanisms, which page they're going to land on and which ad they're going to click on, right?
Yes.
We're showing up in that feminine energy of, I'm here to gather my people. I'm here with great value that I feel confident in. And that is magnetic marketing that works on that, the energy game, right? Right? Like how things are always working out for us. If we can build a marketing strategy based on the laws of the universe, that's really what we're talking about, how to get people to come into our world. Everything works better. And that's why we call it the feminine marketing funnel.
So for me, I see it as the real powerful marketing strategies.
Well, it's one that's going to outlast your hashtags or your shiny object or whatever next sexy thing we come up with. These are the principles that you can take everywhere and feel ease and feel confidence because, okay, my education and psychology background, this is how human brains are wired and where society is going.
Exactly. So now you help coaches get back into the zone of genius. Mm-hmm. What exactly does that mean?
So similar to how I realized, I have this gift with storytelling and words, and translating marketing speak. We all start our business, especially heart-centered entrepreneurs, because we want to share our gift. But then, like we talked about, then all these other things start adding up, right? Well, now I got to manage my calendar. And now I got to figure out my QuickBooks online. And now I got all these other jobs that we pick up as solopreneurs, that we lose that spark. We lose all of that potent energy in being who we are here to be, that gift that we came to Earth School with. And this is another piece of that magnetism, is that if you can really live in your zone of genius and do the tasks and do the activities, which for most of our clients is coaching, speaking, writing books, doing anything other than writing a website, we all rise together. And so we get to live in our zone of genius at Done For You Copywriting by figuring out the marketing strategy and putting it to work. And then our coaches don't have to do that. They get to go coach and live in their zone of genius. And when all the puzzle pieces work together like that, it's going to sound like woo-woo, but I think you're going to get it. It's like, this is how consciousness rises. This is how we see more harmony in the world. We stop trying to be everyone else and we just live in our zone of genius.
Not only that, also we feel happy and accomplished that we did something today, not just trying to spend 5 hours trying to figure out how QuickBooks works. Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have an answer for your husband when he comes home and he asks you, what'd you do today? And you're like, I don't think I left the couch, but I was on the computer all day. Like doing what? Exactly. That spinning the wheels thing. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how QuickBooks works.
Yeah. Been there. Tried to do that. Yeah.
So now how can people get your services?
Yeah. So if you want to hop over to dfycopywriting.org, you can check us out. If you also type in dfycopywriting.org/free, you can answer a few questions, enter some information, and we'll actually get back to you with an audit. So we'll look at the pieces that you currently have in your brand, put it on the table, and tell you kind of how we see putting them together in a more cohesive strategy that helps people connect with you, get clarity on what you do, see your credibility, and become a client.
So now I have one last question for you. I know Women's History Month is coming up.
Yeah.
And we should celebrate each other every single moment, every single second of life. We don't need a month to do that. But any advice that you have for women who wants to get into entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. I think we've been kind of hinting at this throughout the conversation, is if you can first get really clear on what your unique gifts are. You probably have an idea, right? I realized in hindsight, I was like really young, reading and writing, 4 years old at my little typewriter. Yes. Like I have pictures of that. And I didn't really think about that until I started getting the feedback, right? From my community, from clients. And so if you can get really clear on what is your unique gift and do everything you can to eliminate the rest of the stuff that you're doing. And I mean, even things that distract you from your brilliance. Maybe that's making meals. For me, keep me out of the kitchen. I will eat it, but you do not want it. You do not want me to make the food. Hence Chinese takeout. Okay. But if we can think about living in our unique zone of genius and finding ways to get support in those other places. For some people, it might be Chinese takeout. That might mean hiring someone to help around the house. That might mean getting that bookkeeper. But really committing to finding what your gifts are and then trusting that those things that you need to get done or need to happen in your business can be supported by people other than you. So for a lot of our 6-figure coaches, that means hiring teammates and delegating. But if you're just starting out, there could be systems or apps or someone on Fiverr who can just help you move things that feel like ugh. Like if there are things you're doing that you'd rather be at the dentist than do. I've had those things, bookkeeping. I'd rather go to the dentist than do my own books. How can we get more of that off of your plate? Zone of ugh out, zone of genius in. This is really that universal principle that I've seen and has helped us, scale, triple our income in a year and a half and have a lot more joy and free time. So find your gifts, delegate the rest.
Keep moving forward. Oh, thank you so much, Hanna, for the time. I appreciate the chance to talk to you, to learn about what you do and how you are helping your clients, women, and how you're making them shine, because we need to help each other shine. And sometimes we're not doing that enough. So it's great to always have a conversation with other women that's doing just that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Beautiful.
Thank you for listening to Female Founders Podcast. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or connect with us on womel.com so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time. Bye for now.